and girls, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you spending your Saturday with me. You could be anywhere in the world. And I apologize for my tardiness. I think I'm about 2 minutes late. I had a last minute work call that I had to tie up. But here we are, man. Here we are. We got an unboxing to do. Today's going to be a focus on Venezianico. I want to give some time for people to come in. For those of you who have been waiting, I do appreciate it. Vincent H, good morning. Time Ticker, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate when other content creators take the time to come on here instead of editing videos, because I know how long that takes. Oscar's in the building, I believe. What's going on? And Mega. Guys, super excited. I'm going to give a little bit of a backstory before doing the unboxing, because I want some people to be able to come in and have the experience if they're planning to show up. But we are going to do an unboxing of Venezianico. They sent me in a new watch. Now, full disclosure, I didn't pay for the watch. That's why this live is considered to be sponsored. It was a free watch. I don't have to send it back. The watch that I'm going to be showing you guys before doing the unboxing is something that I paid in full. You guys have seen me do a review on it, and that's the reason why you didn't see a paid sponsor on that review, because my wife actually bought that for a 35th birthday gift. And I did a review on the watch. I've been looking to have a relationship with Venezianico because I really appreciated what they've been doing over the years. I've been excited about them since 2023. But we're seeing them surface a lot with a lot of creators. They're building a lot of connections with people. They are building a lot of relationships. We see them doing amazing things with dials and using different materials in their watches. They're really putting themselves in a category of luxury at this point, and they have such a range of different offers to different people. So it's really nice to see them excel. They were out since 2017. I think it's late 2017, and the owner's name is Alberto and Alessandro. And they have a lot of Venice inspiration. And I met them in the 2023 windup. That was the first time that I was exposed to them. Matter of fact, I believe they were coming in, they were downstairs, they had their table as you walked in to the left, I still remember. And I was very impressed with the watches that they had. They had a lot of different colors and ranges and fantastic dials already at the time. And my wife took notice of me appreciating the watches that they had. So for 2024 on my birthday, she actually got me this Rendendore Aventurina, right? So let's flip this around so you guys can get a better look. So this is the watch that I want to show you guys first. Those of you who've been following probably know that I already own this watch. This was fully purchased by me. It's the first collection that I had. Now, here's the deal. With this watch, it first came with a leather strap. I have that right next to me, which is very, very nice, Italian made. It fits very close to the case itself because it is curved lugs, so it does fit in there. Now, with that said, on this lug, on the inside, I don't have this taken apart, and it's gonna be kind of hard for you guys to see, but there's actually two lug holes here, one being closer to the case for that strap, leather strap to fit a little bit closer in. So it is nice and snug. I'm sorry about the lighting. Hold on, let me see if I can get some coloring going here. Nice blue dial, aventurine glass with that copper shimmering in the light. Now, one thing to be noted, right? One thing that I want to mention, the only caveat, the only takeaway that I've heard from Venezianico and people's responses is that in this watch in particular, there's an NH35. There's absolutely nothing wrong with an NH35. We all know that. It's a robust movement. But when it gets to a certain price point, because it's utilized in other affordable watches, it's a tough pill to swallow when you're at the $500 to $600 mark, especially without the bracelet. The bracelet is an additional, I believe, this is the is it called the Canva? I think this is called the Canvo bracelet. And that's an additional cost. And I recommend getting the bracelet if you are going with this watch, because it just makes a big difference. The only caveat that I could say about this is that it is a butterfly clasp. They do have smaller links for you to get a closer fit. I haven't ordered one myself, so this one wears slightly looser than what I'm used to. So that's probably the only caveat. And then there's the NH35, right? But here's the deal. And I've talked to a couple of watchmakers. More specifically, Eugene from Maryland. If you guys don't know, he does a lot of servicing for a lot of other companies. And he was looking to do aventurine glass in the dial. Dufresne, not Dufresne. There was another company that I was talking to, another watchmaker. But long story short, the aventurine glass is not easy to deal with. There's a high failure rate. It does crack quite often when they put the glass inside of the case. So there's other takeaways to add value to the watch aside from just the movement. There's the finishing. We of course have a beautiful case back in most of the Venezianico watches as is. They all are pretty much a work of art. Now this one is screwed down with screws, which again, it doesn't bother me. This is a dress watch. We're not doing any deep sea diving with this watch. So it has enough. I believe this one's at 50 meters of water resistance. Let me just fact check myself before I go on here and live and put some falsified information. Yeah, this is 5 ATM. So this is 50 meters of water resistance. It's a dress watch, right? No one's putting this on and going about it. Now, some people have also said it's a little too minimalistic for them, but I know that you guys are kind of like me and you wear watches for wrist art, right? Not every single watch needs to be a tool. Not every single watch needs to tell you the time, because not only do we have phones, this is one phone that I have. I'm recording on another phone. So I got the dashboard on the truck. I mean, I'm surrounded by the exact time if I really need it. So this is more like a dress watch, more like a piece of art, work of art, which Venezianico excels in, right? That's something that they're giving us a lot of different materials in their dials, whether it be glass, whether it be precious stone, whether it be 24 karat gold in some cases, and mother of pearl. They're really becoming the company of dials, and they are dialing in on making their watches luxury. And that's what I felt for it. And I feel like that this watch, in my opinion, is well worth the money. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Not only that, not for nothing. And I say this, we're doing an unboxing from them. I already told you guys that I don't have to send the watch back. It was given to me as a gift, but I think you guys have seen me talk about Venezianico before in the past, and I've always given them a stellar recommendation for their customer service. Just their team from the buying end, because I was a customer before anything else. My wife was purchasing. She walked me through the story of how she dealt with them, and I'm going to share that with you guys. She was very apprehensive of purchasing a watch. Okay, she was nervous that she was, talking to maybe somebody who wasn't really Venezianico. So she put them through the mill, right? She had Venezianico take pictures of their watches at the stores, at the factories, after contacting them. And they walked her through every step and gave her a lot of reinsurance, spent a lot of time making sure that she was comfortable with the purchase from soup to nuts. So I already had a crazy good recommendation from them from my first video, which was not sponsored. I was really impressed with them. And for me, I don't know if anybody else is out here like this, but the value of an independent brand, in my opinion, especially, I already want to buy their watches because of who they are and how they handle customer service, social media, the shows that they come out and to do. So there's already value for me in an independent brand prior to looking at any of their watches. Call it a vibe. It's so weird. I have the same vibe from Jack Mason. I have the same vibe for Christopher Ward. Not because they're just Top Gun, right? But because their representation has been fantastic. Meeting Mike, his energy, Jack Mason, Peter, he's always just a cool cat to chat. And that makes me say, okay, before I look at their collection, I'm like, I'm gonna put one of their watches in my collection eventually. I don't know where it is right now, but there's value in that. And that's how I've always treated my relationship and my feel for Venezianico. They're all smiles, they're all customer service. Even the behind the scenes stuff that you guys don't see, from creator to their marketing department, they're just really cool people, really respectful, very nice, and it's been an absolute pleasure. And I hope that these watches aren't the last one that I can feature. Venezianico, if you're listening, you by no means have to gift me watches moving forward. I'm incredibly thankful for the watch that you have gifted me that we're gonna unbox here in a second. But just so you know, I look forward to working with you guys, and it's not necessarily for gifts. Just let me borrow the watches so I can do my presentation for the world to see. So let's catch up on chat after I rambled off all that. But I wanted to make sure, man, it's important. Real talk. You got to give the flowers when they're due. So I can't wait. I know, man. I know. I feel kind of guilty dragging it out. Not dragging it out, but making you guys wait for the unboxing. Because I know how it is on the other side, man. Like, where it's like, just unbox the damn thing already. All right, so Eric's in the building. He says, smart lady. My wife is a absolute genius. She is way smarter than I am not afraid to say that on live. This is not sponsored by Red Bull, but I love Red Bull. So chat is all caught up. You guys are locked into the screen. Let's start the unboxing process. So the reason why I used the Venezianico logo as the thumbnail, because if I were to even begin unpackaging this thing, you guys would already know who the company is because they already have their branding. Even on the outside brown box, they take the time to brand it. Their packaging, as you're gonna see, feels luxurious without being over the top, right? Because when a box is crazy, crazy, crazy quality, like some polished wood and everything else, then you know a lot of that money went into it. That being said, the money you spent on a watch, you want it to feel of kind of an importance, kind of a certain quality that goes to the characteristics of the company and the watch that you're buying. So this is the brown box. Let's start unpacking. I'm gonna make sure to try to keep up with chat. Guys, if I get, so put it this way, if you guys are putting stuff on chat, and you see that I'm going off on a tangent, just know that I will get back to it, but kind of anticipate that if you're trying to say something in the moment that's relative, because I might go back and be like, what are they talking about? First time on your live for me. Well, Eric, welcome to the live. I do appreciate it. We are doing an unboxing. Normally when I do lives, we do rants. I kind of just pick a topic and go. There's really no right or rhyme to it. I like connecting with you guys, man. Like, I think it's important, and it's really fun to come up in here and just talk about it, see what you guys are thinking, see what you guys are talking about yourself. So we're opening this up on the top. We got a nice little booklet here. I don't think you guys are here for the book. Oh, is that my watch? Yeah, there you go. That's the way, baby boy. So we got the packaging. Now, just so you guys can see, we have some extra, stuffing in here, because the box itself is smaller. If you guys seen a box from them, which you should have because you saw my thumbnail, you'll know that it's all white. I'm so excited. Guys, I got this watch Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. Do you know how hard it was to not open this thing up? I didn't even, you saw, it was completely packaged in, like even from this box itself. Do you know the willpower? Now, I had to put this on my wrist for a few days to kind of like offset the patience part of it, but I made it. I made it all the way to Saturday from Wednesday. Good morning, Shark Time. Welcome in. Again, welcome, Eric, for your first time on my live. I hope you do enjoy yourself. Now, the packaging is embossed. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's flip the camera just so you guys get a better view. The packaging is embossed. There is a sleeve always placed over it. So very nice. Gives you that quality, and then it just opens up. It just opens up from there. There is a little bit more branding here, but then we just open it up. All right, now the moment we all waiting for, right? Drum roll, please. I can hear it. I can hear it from where you are, the drum roll. Da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, guys. So wait, I didn't even tell you guys. Did you guys try to guess which watch this was? Should we wait till we get a couple of guesses, or it's like, Skylar, how you gonna do this to me? You was already pulling the top open. Let me know, chat. Should we wait for some guesses? You want to fire something off, or should we just open it? First person to answer that question is what we're gonna do. How about that? Should we open it, or should we get some guesses going? Venezianico. Open. All right. All right. So let's do it this way. Opening her up. Ooh, this is beautiful. This is nice. All right, guys. So here it is in the metal. This is the watch that I received from Venezianico. Now, I've been practicing as much as I possibly could with my Western tongue, and I'm going to attempt. It is the Nereide Aureo. Nereide Aureo. Let me know if that's even close. I have time to have to practice. I saw this bad boy at the windup. Absolutely fell in love with it. It is the epitome of luxury. In my definition, I go to independent brands for that luxury for the reasons that you guys know. And if you don't know, independent brands have the flexibility and creativity to do things the way that they want to do it. They can incorporate different materials without having to hit you over the head because they're not spending as a fortune on marketing. We do have 24 karat gold that's electroplated onto this metal dial. Tungsten bezel, which is harder than 316L. I have a tungsten wedding ring that I wear on a day-to-day, so I know that this is going to be bulletproof. And then their new bracelet. I forget how to pronounce or say the new bracelet. Let me try and dig her up really quick. How do I say this new bracelet? Let's see. Sansovino bracelet, which is something that is new to their collection for this watch. It's a chunky boy. It's not a small watch, right? It does fill it up. I believe this one's a 42 millimeter. Yeah, this is a 42, right? Diameter, 49 lug to lug. Okay, so it is a bigger size watch. Now I have, for reference, a 7¼ inch wrist, so I don't think, as a matter of fact, I know I won't have a problem because I put this on during the show. But guys, I absolutely cherish this watch. It means a lot to me. It really resembles my ability and the hard work that I've done here on YouTube to create relationships. And I'm extremely grateful that they gifted it to me, for sure. And I can't wait to really, dig deep into it, do the specifications. Now, this one also has a screwed in case back with screws, right? But really, at the end of the day, your water resistance is more so dictated on the gaskets and the seals inside the watch. I know a lot of us feel like, because we think of maybe like a mason jar, but you gotta understand that when you're underwater, it works a little differently. Whether you screw it in or not, there's a force onto the case or onto whatever object is below water. So really, it's dictated towards your seals. Even if you have something that's screwed in, if the seals are no good, it really won't matter. So this is 200 meters. This is considered an actual diver. Like I said, the dimensions are a little bit bigger, but I'm gonna have no issues at all wristing this. And I wanted to take a second to just thank you guys, man. Like, if it wasn't for your support, if it wasn't for the interactions that you guys do on a week-to-week basis with the channel, sometimes on Watch Crunch, this wouldn't be possible. So, one thing that I saw recently, I was watching a YouTube channel that said that when you're thinking of YouTube as a creator, you're not the hero, right? We're human beings. We get egotistical. It's all about our perception and what affects us, right? But at the end of the day, the hero is the audience when you're doing your work and you're putting stuff out there. I'm extremely appreciative of you guys to even make this possible for me to do these collaborations, not only with Venezianico, but everybody else. Today's all about Venezianico. But thank you guys. That's at the bottom of my heart. I'm super excited to do a deep dive into this watch. And I am excited to have a continued relationship with Venezianico because they're not stopping. Did you guys see the Ultra Black that they did for the new line, that super thin case? Mamma mia, I love it. I love it already. It's like, I was like, oh man, I started doing the rocking. I was like, that's nice too. Good morning, everybody. Thelonious Monk is in the building. Met you and ran into you at Watch and Wine in New York, man. So it's nice to put the face to the name and having a chat with you. What's going on, brother, man? Let me catch up. Very nice looking. I'm into micros in my collection. I'm Eric. So moving forward, just so you know, I've done a combination of micro brands or independent brands, however you want to call them. I've also done very affordable brands. I've done reviews that way because that resembles how I've done my collection, right? I've had a lot of affordable watches, a lot of them, the names that you already know, some of which are newer, right, to it, but I started there. In 2023, I discovered the New York Wine Fair. I discovered independent brands, and they were gems, they were gold mines. And when you really fish through them, you can learn a lot about what they're capable of, the freedom that they have, the interactions that they give, the quality of work that they do. It's all about independent brands for me for the most part, but I'm still always going to feature more affordable lines because I always got to stick to my roots. I'm always going to do modifications. I got a Namoki that I'm actually working on one of their new cases. So I'm always going to stay dynamic. It would probably suit me better to pick one thing and go with it, but I can't. This channel was supposed to resemble how I collect and how I am as an enthusiast and how I am as a collector. It was supposed to just mimic the way I collect and me show you guys what I do, right? So, but that being said, to me, guys, I'll be honest with you, this is my opinion. This for me, this watch in particular, is a Rolex to me, hands down. I'm never gonna want to spend 10 grand on a Rolex. I'm never gonna want, like for me, 10 grand, I would rather invest, no shade. If you love Rolex and you have the money to spend on it, maybe things change for me and I get to the point where I have you know what money and I can just drop that like that, but it wouldn't make sense for me right now. I feel like you can get a lot of things out of watches, and when I look at this watch, of course the case and the kind of design kind of helps to that, but to me, listen, you get gold, you get tungsten, you get of course 316L, you're getting so BGW9, 200 meters. I mean, Swiss made movement. First of all, I kind of skipped over that. This is my first Salida, guys. All right, so let me be completely transparent with you guys. Let me take it back. I'm always transparent, but I did forget to mention this. So when Venezianico first reached out to me, I reached out to them rather. I did my wind-up video. I showed them that. I showed them my video with the Rendendore Venturina. And I said, hey guys, you know, would love to work with you guys in the future. I love the brand. They kind of remembered me because at the show, I got to go back again. At the show, somebody admired. I was wearing this one of the days. I went up to the table and the guy was like, ah, man. I said, what's wrong? He goes, man, I was looking at that watch, that Venturine glass. I was like, yeah? He's like, yeah, man, I'm on the fence. I don't know if I should get it. And this was the watch that he saw. So I was like, hey man, the booth is right over there. As you know, go over there, check it out. You know, it's a great watch. Like, you know, listen, like I'm not gonna force anything onto you, but maybe it was meant to be type of thing. So fast forward, I'm making my rounds. I'm shooting my little clips as you guys saw in my Wind Up Fair video. And I go to Venezianico. I picked up one of these. I picked up, I think it was another watch. I can't remember which one I did in the video, but I saw him in the corner of my eye when I was finishing the clip, right? So I was talking into the camera, I could see him over the camera, and I see him kind of looking at the table. So we ended my wife was done recording me. So I brought him over the table, I picked this watch up from the table, and I basically sold the watch, man. I was like, check this out. A Venturine glass, hard to work with, 2 spring bars in here to bring the leather closer when you have it. I recommend the bracelet, this, and that. Like I went through the whole thing. I don't know if the guy bought it, but it definitely was very exciting, and I was very excited to pitch a company that I love, to be honest with you. I couldn't help myself. So that was that, right? So going back to now the story of when I reached out to Venezianico, I said, hey, would love to work with you guys. You know, send me a watch. Doesn't, you know, I don't have to keep watches. I'm just letting you guys know right now, I don't have to keep them. I am happy with borrowing the watch. You know, it's more of a focus of giving you guys value of doing an in-depth review of the watch. So if it means I have to borrow it, if it means I have to pay for shipping, I just can't afford every watch that I review to buy. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, so they responded to me, lovely team, and they said, hey, matter of fact, you know, I'll do you one better. We have this watch. Do you want us to send it to you? It's a gift. Do a review, do your thing. We see your work, you know, just go ahead. Now, it wasn't this watch that they sent me today, okay? It wasn't this watch. It was another watch. It was probably a newer watch that they had. Yeah, it was a newer watch. It was the one with the NH. It's a different NH movement in there. Oh, my Lanta. It's the one with the small second hand. Somebody help me out, chat. You know how I do, man. If I don't got it written down, baby, You guys got to see my script. My scripts are like, jeez. Anyway, you guys probably know what to watch I'm talking about. So now I was faced with a dilemma. I was like, okay, that's extremely grateful, but in my heart of hearts, this is the watch that I really would love to review. But how do I go back to them and say, hey, dude, can I get this one instead? Right? So I called up the wife. I said, hey, babe, good news, bad news. Not bad news, but good news, bad news. Venezianico hit me up. They're going to send me a watch to do a review. I'm super excited. They want to continue the relationship. But I want to ask them for a different watch. How do I go about that without sounding like a jerk? She goes, babe, just put it out there. You know, obviously you're not demanding anything. You're just requesting. And if they say no, you know, obviously you're happy to do a review on whatever watch you want to. I mean, whatever watch they ask you or whatever fits, right? It's got to be a two-way street, right? I can't just review any watch that they want. It has to be something that I'm also fired up and interested in, because you guys can feel the passion when we're talking about something. And if I sit up here and say, oh yeah, you know, I like this watch, you guys are gonna understand and feel that that's not the case, right? But anyway, they said, no problem, we have it in production, we'll send you one when it's ready. That's it. So I was just like, wow, that's really, really cool of them, man. I was super happy. Let me catch up on chat. Sorry, guys. But this is a grail watch for me, man. First SW, this is a SW200, yes? SW200? Do I have that right? Skylar, you should know the watches that you have on live. Yeah, I know. But my brain's the size of a peanut. What do you want from me? 20 ATM, 200 meters. That's not the thing I was looking for. Yeah, SW200. So this is my first Swiss-made movement, man. I'm so grateful. I'm so excited. This is like the trophy, man. To be honest with you, like, man, this is the Rolex for me, guys. And I'm really, really excited. I'm really, really happy. Can't wait to do the review video. Let me catch up on chat and stop saying it. Okay, so, I have, let me go back. Drum roll. I answered that. Yo, Space G's in the builder, better known as Wistful Ignorance. If you guys don't know, he just started a channel. For those of you that haven't checked it out yet, he's on there now and he's doing his thing, man. Proud of him. Check him out if you got a chance. Let him get his legs, you know. But he's doing pretty good already, man. Space G. We are definitely similar in our thoughts. Beautiful, man. That's awesome. Listen, man, that's what it's about. Like, I understand that there's gonna be people that are not going to think similar from me. That's fine. And that's okay. Listen, if you think that my opinions are not the same as yours, I welcome it. Please share your opinion, even if it's different from mine, because that's how I'm going to learn more perspectives, right? I'm not up here, excuse me, guys, Red Bull. I'm not up here upset if you have different views than I have. Please share them, man, because we have to get to a point where we could sit at the table, have a difference of opinion, but gain perspective and leave the table with mutual respect always, starting and finishing. Stay with what you have, but keep on growing that angle. Copy that, yeah. I mean, I don't really, so now, here's something that I do want to implement into going to 2025 with the content. It's always been my dream. Just so you guys know, my wife is a preschool teacher. She's an expert. She's been doing that for 16 years. I'm very passionate about watches. She's very passionate about her career. I'm also passionate about my daytime job as well. But with this and what I'm trying to do here, I want to align our two things together. I want to do something with the youth. I'm going to be trying to set the focus of the channel on how I can incorporate timepieces, horology, and the youth from very, very young age all the way up to, you know, preteens and teens and everything else. There are a couple of companies like Edward Christopher, or is it Christopher Edward? Edward Christopher, I believe it is. They're about 8 months young. They actually do a charity for all of their watches. They donate to a charity cause to troubled youth, you know, kids that are just been dealt a crappy hand and they need some help and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to do what I can for him. I'm going to try to reach out, maybe connect the dots. Like, I'm looking for the early stages of how I can incorporate the two into the content as well. I'm never going to stop what I'm already doing, but that would be my passion for me. I've got a review video aside from that one that I want to work on. I actually wrote the script for it, and I have the watch. I actually purchased the watch. It was actually a gift to the wife. That's going to align with that. I don't want to spill the tea. I want to work on it and craft it a little bit for that review, but I've already been working on something like that, and that's my passion, man. I want to be able to maybe get in touch with some kind of charity fund and for the kids and for the youth, and the two, right? Helping out the youth, but also how could we educate and get them fired up about horology and keep this passion alive, or bring it to the next generation? Because the only thing that I wish is that I got into watches even sooner, man. And so if we could somehow do that and inspire them and educate them and everything else, that'd be cool, man. That'd be cool. Sorry. Tangents, man. Stay with what you have and keep growing. What up, Oscar? You guys are saying what up? These are the best ways to stand in line at the Sam's Club for sure. Yes, sir. Those are beautiful and different different than other watches. I like the tungsten bezel. The tungsten bezel is fire. It looks dressy, but at the same time sportier. Yes. Yes, I definitely agree. Yes, it is the Salida. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the shout out. Always, bro. Always shout outs, man. My channel's about promotion, baby. It's not it's not me. It's not me. If you guys didn't catch it too, Time Ticker, you guys probably know her already. Fantastic content creator as well. She is actually, I don't know how old she is, but she's definitely younger than I am. And she's within that group. You have father and son. If you guys haven't seen his channel, he actually is a father who's doing the channel with his son, and they talk about timepieces, man. So if you guys haven't seen their channel before, I think it's father and son. Oh man, I'll put it in the description. Father and son. Oh man, I know it's Elliot and John. I know their name, but I can't remember the channel. But you guys probably know who I'm talking about. Time Ticker's another one. You have Merely on Time. You have, of course, my man Travis, who's Trap Vision 3D. He's like the GOAT of lives. There's just so many people, man. There's so many creators moving around, and I love it. I love it. Only Cool Watches. That's also a very cool channel. Next review will be a baby G-Shock. Nah, probably not, but oh, for you. Okay, cool, yeah. Idea, best 5 out of 10 watches for a teacher. So, best 5 out of 10 watches? I like that. Thank you, Shark. I like that. I like that. Matter of fact, Shark Time, put that as a comment for this video after the fact so I don't forget. I definitely like that idea. Maybe when kids are older, you can host workshops where kids do some hands-on work with watches, like strap changes or bracement adjustments. They move up. I love this, man. Infinite Chronos. I love that feedback, because you know what? I was thinking about somehow simplifying, like it would have to be really dumbed down, obviously, but making some kind of workshop where kids can put a watch together in the simplest level. But what you just said makes more sense. Just doing strap changes, maybe manipulating the crown and changing the time and that's a great idea, man. That's a great idea. I love this. I love this. Great idea, Shark. Yep, exactly. What's up, Skylar? Watch Guy. Big Ferg with AKA Watch Guy. What's up, man? I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you spending the time. You did say that you were going to try to catch it. I don't know if you caught me showing off the watch that I unboxed, but here it is. Let's get back to what we were talking about here. Now we got a little bit of sunshine on it. So this is the watch that I got, man. This is the watch that they sent me. Super grateful. I will try to attempt to say the name again. Let's see. This is the Western tongue, guys. Nereide Aureo. Nereide Aureo. Guys, here's the deal. It took me a long time to say Rendendore Aventurino, right? Wait, it's not even on my wrist anymore. Rendendore Aventurino. I practiced that a lot, so give me some time. I will nail this. Now, let's take a look at the bracelet. That's a new bracelet style that they had. I know that there was a mention about the end of the lugs here with they wanted to improve this. I'm not sure if this is the actual improvement. I have to do a little bit of homework and research. I love the buckle on this, man. It's a larger buckle. Let me unpack it, eh? That would probably help. I'm gonna leave the plastic on it, guys, because respectfully, I wanna make sure that this watch has no scratches when I do the review. Afterwards, I'm gonna have a field day. But I love the buckle on here. This is a deployment class, a button push deployment class, right? And it is on the larger sides, which I like because that balances out the 42 actual size that we have for the watch itself. It's a chunky boy, but I love that. I have a 7 1/4 inch wrist. So just for reference, for you guys that are around the same wrist size. Hang on, let me get close to the phone. That just, it fills my entire wrist, but it's just on the money. It's just on the money. Big and robust. Now, some people have said that they would love to see this in a 39. You know, obviously, if they want to take it that way, they can. But I love the big size watch for this because it's just, it's loud, but it's not too loud, right? And it's funny because I had my sights on, and I don't know if like some of you guys know this, I had my sights on the Seiko Pogue. I was looking for that Pogue style. It didn't have to necessarily be from Seiko. There's a lot of dials that have the same look to it. Islander is one of them. But for some reason, I wasn't connecting to what was out there for it, so this couldn't have come sooner. I think that this is more like, you know how back in the day, our fathers or grandfathers had the old gold watch? Wearing an old gold watch today may be a little too loud for somebody, right? And I'm not gonna say that they're not super cool, because I still think, in my opinion, that there's, even if I don't wanna wear something myself, it doesn't mean that I can't appreciate it for somebody else, right? They are super cool, old gold watches, but like for 2024, 2025, just having a gold dial, having those different materials, the tungsten versus the stainless steel, that for me is like the version of that, as you guys can see, is the version of that where it's not the whole entire watch being gold, which for me is, you gotta be ready for that. You gotta be in a situation where you're comfortable with that. I don't think I remove, oh, let me do this for you guys though. This I will do because it's a sapphire crystal. I doubt I'm gonna scratch it. Let's remove, just for you guys, let's remove that plastic, because I know that that is a thing for you guys, right? It makes it kind of like official. I have no nails, so this, this may take a while. Hang on. Oh, there we go, here we go. Let's get that close up. There we go. Oh yeah, I'll do it nice and slow, like slow motion. Ah. That's just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm so excited, man. I am so happy. I am so grateful, man. And again, I give all of the credit to you guys, man. I did the hard work, yes, but you guys really had my back on these videos that I'm doing. A lot of you guys gave me so much feedback. So many of you guys have just jumped aboard. Like, there are some of you in chat right now that's been here since the first video. And like that was rough to watch. So I love you guys for sitting through that. It's so funny. So my first technical video is technically my second video, yeah? In that video, I shoot it like this in the car and it gets zoomed up. I didn't do that intentionally. That was not an edit. That was my Apple Watch at the time connected to my phone, thinking that I was gonna get fancy with the zoom in and zoom out. Completely forgot about it once I started talking. I zoomed in, never realized, and that was that, man. But I kept that video up there. And I thought about taking it down, but I'm like, if somebody's dancing with the idea of coming up on here and talking watches, I want them to see that video, man, because it's rough. It's rough. Mark Time, in my live with Mark Time, fantastic guy. He's like, your video was terrible. He told me to my face. I love him. He gave it to me how it was. He's like, I watched your first videos. Yeah, they were garbage. But we came a long way, man, and we got a long way to go. And I've got a lot of plans, a lot of reservations. You guys have given me a lot of feedback. So I'm super excited to just keep on running forward with it. That's a 44. No, it's a 42 millimeter Oscar Nunez. A 42 millimeter. Now the thickness on it, I don't even know if I put that in my notes, and I don't have my cals right now to measure the thickness on this bad boy. This is 42.49 lug to lug. I've got the wrist for 49. That's like on the button for me though. Like it can't be any bigger. But I know a lot of you guys in chat like the really big watches, man. So this would be something that you would be interested in possibly. I don't know the thickness of it. I don't have my calibers on me. I will do, of course, I'm doing an in-depth review of it, so we're gonna know exactly. And just so you guys know, moving forward in the reviews, I'm giving you guys what I get on my calibers. I'm pretty sure that they're dead accurate in their measurements, but I'm going to be measuring it myself. That's what I get on my calibers, and that's what I like to report for you guys. So BGW9, Salida 200, like you guys already know. The crystal is sapphire on here. Tungsten bezel insert. Adjustable clasp, eh? Yeah, so micro adjustments on the clasp. Micro adjustments on it, which is okay. It's all right. You know, it's not like, listen, and I hate to talk any kind of negativity. This strap, just so you guys know, this is how I like to wear my watches, right? Like I put the watch on, got to put the right side. That doesn't bother me. That bothers somebody, some other people where you have to put one side. I like the continuity of the bracelet. However, I make sure when I tighten my watches that this could never happen. I like to have the tightness of the bracelet where it's tight enough where that could never slip over the bone, but loose enough where it's like just before that, right? So it can't slip over the bone, but it's the loosest it could be before that. That's how I wear my bracelets. The problem with this kind of bracelet is that you can't adjust it. Now, again, they do have half links available, which I should purchase, but that's the only caveat with getting it. My recommendation is if you're gonna get this bracelet, it is 100% worth it for the Rendendore Aventurina, 100% worth it. It's a beautiful bracelet that articulates and everything else, has a nice curve at the end. But that's a thing, right? That's a thing. Like, even for me, I have to adjust it, but I kind of like, I haven't done it yet, right? I haven't bought the half links yet. So does it really bother me? I don't know. That's a 42, awesome. I'm getting one of those Venezianicos for sure. Which one are you getting, Oscar? Are you going to get the Rendendore Aventurina, or are you going to get the Nereide? Oh man, here we go. Nereide Aureo. I'm gonna get this down, I promise you. Are you gonna get this? This is a beautiful watch, man. Oh man, I'm sorry guys, but like I actually waited to open this up, like I said. So I'm getting hit with it. You guys are seeing like an actual first moment with the watch. I absolutely love it. What are you gonna do? Which one are you gonna get? But okay, so here's the deal. And I know, guys, this is a sponsored video. They gave me the watch as a gift. I promise you guys that these are my true feelings about Venezianico. I feel, in my opinion, and I haven't felt this way. I respect a lot of people like to collect watches where they get, like, most commonly, I see the Duro. I see a lot of collectors with every iteration of the Duro, and like, when people collect like that, I think it's super cool, but I've never done it myself, and I've never felt the need or even like come close to that, right? I've always felt like it's like a one and done. There's a lot of independent brands. I gotta snipe the watch that I want from each brand and just keep it moving. I can say Venezianico makes me feel a type of way. They really, really do. Because their dials and their designs from collection to collection, right, is so different, and they have such an added beauty and architecture to their watches that if I had to choose, it would probably be Venezianico to choose one from every one of their collections. If I had the money, I'd get them all. I'd have every single watch in the world, right? If I had the money. But if you ever see me collect in that kind of fashion, it definitely would be them. They have a home run for me out of all of their collections for sure. And I'm interested to get my hands on some other different watches from the different collections, to be honest with you. Let me just check something over here. Give me 1 second. Let me catch up on chat. I'm getting one of those. Yes, Eric. So what kind of all silver? The Nereide on silver dial. Not sure what you mean, bro. Oh, you're saying you would get that one. Got you. Venezianico. My bad, chat. Rendendore. Mother of pearl. They have so many different things that they utilize. I think I mentioned that before, man. It's just they're utilizing so many different. Mother of pearl, they're using aventurine glass, they're using the gold, precious stone, the all black is fire. I'm so glad that that was a gift from my wife, because if I had to choose between the Aventurine and the all black, I would be stuck 50-50. Chat, which one would you guys go? Would you guys go with this? And I don't know if you can pull up the website so you can see the difference, or if you know the difference already, but would you go with the Aventurine? I got to get in the sunlight. Ooh, diamonds be dancing. Would you go with this, or would you go with the all black, ultra black that they have? That's a tough cookie to crack right there. And I understand that, again, they're coming out with this new ultra black on their new style, the super thin. That is gorgeous. That is gorgeous. The silver dial, yeah, man, that's a good option too, Oscar, for sure. Makes me want to build. Hold on, let me catch up. Yes, Eric, for a diver watch. Looks thin. Yeah, looks thin for a diver watch. That's how I feel about Aragon. Yeah, bro, Riskful Ignorance, you need to come up with some Aragon videos ASAP Rocky. Like, just keep pumping them out, cranking them out. I know you're passionate about them. The best way to start is talking about stuff that you're super passionate about. Because there's always that I'm talking into the camera type of feel, then you get in your head, you want to be perfect, which we got to talk off camera, man, because there's no such thing as being perfect, for sure. And you just got to let them rock. Makes me want to build a Ripsaw size collection. I just started all dive watches, but they have gravitated to more Gata styles lately. Yeah, man, just so we're seeing a lot of companies, not only in the independent brand space, but in even like the higher production Chinese brands. Like, we're seeing a lot of the Gata's being a thing now. Now, the thing with the Gata watches is this, like, diver watches can be big, can be robust, no problem. It's a tool watch. You want it to be extra. Oh, let me give you guys the bezel. That's my bad. Hold on. Let's get the bezel action on here. No, I have it still wrapped up in plastic, so be gentle. Where's the mic? Oh, that's clean. Super clean. Let's see the back play on live. Zero back play. I'm okay with tool watches and dive watches being robust. The Gata watch, something that we're seeing a lot of people put heavy focus on. Jack Mason did a crazy Gata watch. The Gata watch for me has to be smaller in size, personally. You know who makes the perfect size? If you guys haven't seen his watch, Orion watches. So I did a review of his watch. Those dimensions are on the money. When it comes to the Gata watch and it comes to more of that dressy watch, even if it kind of has like that dressy, sporty type of feel, yo, his dimensions are on the money. And my wrist looks a little bit bigger, right? There's still a little bit more space when I'm wearing his watch on the top and bottom, but when you talk about wanting to size down and give it more of that vintage look, like how our fathers and our grandfathers wore, you know, they wore like these small watches, and that's the way it was. But, you know, the more modern take to that, where it's still sized down, but still has to be a little bit bigger, in my opinion, that's perfect proportions. I like for it to have a little bit of room, still look small. Obviously, it has to be wafer thin, as thin as possible when it comes to Gata for me. And the details have to be crispy. Like, when you lean into a Gata watch and you lean into the details, super, super crispy. Now, he does certain manufacturing in his watch, Orion watches, where the finishing on the hands, the finishing on the indices is super clean. But the dimensions is my point. I have a 7¼ inch wrist again. On my wrist, that has been like, made me love it. Now, I also saw the Erebus. Ascendance. Oh, man. That what is it called? Prismatic geotext. You guys know what I'm talking about. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And he's a watch enthusiast, so he knows exactly what we want out of the watches. He knows exactly the details. Like, he hit the ground running. He didn't play it safe, right? He gave us those crazy dials. Maybe the first watches you can call quote unquote safe. You can't be mad at anybody for playing it safe when they first start off, man. It's tough. Starting a new watch line is really, really tough. I can only imagine. Like, I only hear the war stories from them. But the Ascendance, which is a proper name for it, he gave us the diver extension. I think there's quick release on it. I'm not sure. But the dial, the colorway, the finishing, I got to get my hands on it. I reached out to them. They were kind of busy. They had their shows after the New York. I believe they had a couple more shows. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a watch from them on the channel. I'd love to link up, just borrow the watch. But that watch is fire, man, for sure. But Gata watches are definitely a thing. See, you could just say one thing, bro. I go off on a tangent. Makes me want to, okay, I started Gata watches. Jason, for me, the Ultra Black is the way to go. Yeah, man. See, what are you doing to me? All right, so the Ultra Black, nah, I'm still happy with this one right here. For me. But now they have the Ultra Black in a couple of different models. And going back to what I said, I'm okay with having one of every style from Venezianico. They're really like a cult following. Matter of fact, on their website, I think on their Facebook, they actually have, you know, a whole following where people go back and back. They're doing their things. Like, they have store locations, okay? Like, they're a real deal watch brand, and there are people who just follow and collect only their watches out of the pride of Italy and everything else. And I could see why, man. They really don't just do a watch. They do a watch for it to be luxury. They have a story behind all of them. There's a lot of passion there. There's a lot of passion for sure. For me, the Ultra Black, I read that. Gata style. Gata style is the, are you asking me if the Ultra Black is? Nah, that, if you're saying that towards the Ultra Black is like this Rendendore. It's very minimalistic. Now, what probably resonated with me for this watch was the fact that as a child, I was really into, what's the name of the company? Crap. The museum watch, Movado Bold. I was really into the Movado Bold. The Movado Bold to me as a kid, when I'd look through the glass, I'd walk through 86th Street in Brooklyn. I'd see it on 86th Street, those jewelry stores. I seen it through the glass. I'm like, wow. I used to think as a kid, I knew nothing about watches. I used to think that they were like a Rolex, right? So I think that never left me. I eventually did get a Movado Bold when I got into collecting, but then the minimalistic type of feel is something that I probably wouldn't have gotten comfortable with if not for those watches, because here's the deal. Again, like I said in the beginning, these watches are supposed to be more so for just like the art and more so for the vibe, not for an exact time telling. Another example of that is the what's his name? Oh man, Singapore company. Help me out. Oh man. It's a single hand watch. I did a review of it, man. What am I doing over here? Oh, Aureo. Aureo single hand, same thing, laid back. You're not supposed to know the exact time. There's watches out there, especially if you collect like how I do, guys. I got like 50 plus watches. A lot of you collect more than just 10. If you got a lot of watches in your collection, there's watches that do different things. There's watches that you use as tools. You'll probably even use some as their actual function, some way, shape, or form, even if it's just a beater and you're going to the gym with it. But then there's watches where it's just like, man, I'm wearing this just for the artistic expression. I'm wearing this just for having this kind of unique shine and look to the dial. You know, it's not about knowing what the exact time is, and that's okay. Like that, and I'm all for funky chicken watches, right? If you guys know Mr. Wonderful, he always says that's a funky chicken. Like, I have crazy funky chickens watches in my collection, and it's just about having fun with all the watches. So for me, something that minimalistic, I can understand why it would bother somebody. I've gotten that reaction as I've shown that watch. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't put that watch in when I'm like, okay, I have 15 meetings and I have to be on time for all of them, and my watch is the only way I can tell time. Like, no, like, obviously. Other than that, I've gone to an Italian wedding with this. I went to, not that long ago, a very close friend of mine. He had an Italian wedding, and I got to wear this watch. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I got it. I got the perfect watch, baby. Love it, love it. I love the Italian culture. I love the Italian history. I love Venezianico. What are you gonna do? All right, where we at? Barata. Erebus Ascendant is my newest. Oh, you just picked one up. Which colorway, man? I was looking at the purple. Just because I'm at that point, man, I gotta find the holes in my collection. First off, I think that's a Miyota movement. For me, I need to mess around with more higher beat movements in my collection because I have so many NH35s. And again, I almost want to repeat this every time because I feel like somebody's going to tune in right when I say this and take it the wrong way. Robust movement, nothing wrong with it. I just messed around and have so many. So now I got to expand my collection's horizons and get Swiss-made movements, which again, This is my first Swiss-made movement, the Venezianico, Nereide, Aureo. Am I getting closer? Very first SW, Salida SW200. Gorgeous. So super excited. But now, see, this is going to mess me up now, right? Because you know what happens after this. This was actually one of my grail watches, too. Went on the list of grails as I was at the show. I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to need that one. So now that I got it, you know what happens now, right? That bar is like, okay, now everything's got to be equal or better. So I got to put more Swiss-made movements. I got to put more Miyota movements. I also have the Islander ISL 245, Miyota 9075 for the GMT. Also one of my earlier Miyota movements. Got a couple of those, but I think I'm going to look for more Salida now. I think I'm going to look for less purchases and more and bigger numbers for that. And again, that doesn't mean I'm never going to have a moment where an NH35 is going to fit for my collection, because I also need a red dial in my collection. I need a purple dial. I have colors that I just haven't gotten in there yet. And there's also watch reviews where I know they're going to give me gifts, so I'm going to accept them into my collection. I'm working on, as we speak, a build video for Namoki's brand new case. That has an NH35 in it. So nothing wrong with it. It's just when I sit down and I pay the piper for the watch, I'm ready to take that next step and get that next level and introduce more to the collection and take it from there. All right, guys, so we're rounding out an hour. You guys listen to me ramble on. If you guys have any other questions, of course, we have a review video coming for this. New watch to the collection. Means the world to me, man. Like, this is like it's fitting that it's gold, because it feels like a trophy from all the hard work that I've done for this year. I've said it multiple times on this live already that the credit all goes to you guys. You guys are the absolute hero. You know, the fact that I'm on here for almost an hour and you guys have spent your most valuable resource with me, it's crazy. It blows mine. But I'm really, really appreciative of it, man. And onward and upward for 2025, man. We're going to keep going. We've got plans. And I love doing this, taking this time on a live to just chat with you. Now, I know some of you, most of you, are listening on the playback at this moment. So what I want you to do is stop cooking. Yes, you, stop cooking. Come over to the TV. Hi. Because I do that too on lives, man. Like, I'll be building stuff. I'll have my headphones on. I'm like, cool, this is a long content video. Let me put this to the side. I'll start building and I'm just listening and stuff like that. So I know some of you use this for like background noise, just want to see what Santana's up to. Da 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 da. Maybe you look over while you're stirring the sauce. And I appreciate you guys watching on the playback too, man. That's really, really cool. And I'm having a lot of fun. So we are going to wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, chatting with me. Hope you guys have a fantastic Saturday and Sunday, rest of the weekend. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anybody on the chat. If I missed anything, I do apologize. I was just going off. Those Arabists are cool. Thanks for letting me participate, Scott. Absolutely, Eric. Thank you for tuning in. So, guys, that's the unboxing. Those are more or less all the plans moving forward. I've got a lot of things in the works. I got scripts ready. I've got modifications. The brand interviews, I'm working on some other things. I don't want to tell you guys right now, but I got something else that I'm working on. I'm very close to being monetized, guys. So I really, really appreciate it. I have a specific interview lined up for the celebration of my monetization, if you will. I don't want to give you guys any more. But let's just say you know the guy. And I really appreciate the hours that you guys are putting in, man, and watching these videos. And let me know how I can improve. If you want to, you know, I'll figure it out more of eventually. And that's all I have, guys. That's pretty much it. Just got here. Congrats on the new watch. I'll go back and watch the whole thing later. Man, much love. That's what I'm talking about, man. Like, Lord. Not God, Lord Fleck. I appreciate you going back to watch all that. So anyway, guys, have a lovely weekend. Let me put on a watch on the outro. Hold on. It's not a proper watch channel if you don't have a watch on doing the outro. Hold on. Give me a second. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole thing started with a watch. I appreciate you guys spending your most valuable resource with me, which is time. I hope you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you, hopefully, in the next one.